Ladies and gentlemen, hey, fire bottle greetings from Chicago and TJ Overcast in Montana. How are you guys? Good to see you. What I have here today is a extremely high functioning Les Paul Jr. From the 50s. It's been refinished and sanded so much I don't know what year it's from. I guess I could look at the pots on the pickup and see when stuff was made, but oh my goodness, it sounds really good. Let me get this up just a hair. Yeah, it's amazing. It's a lot of you guys were asking for a junior, and I don't have one handy. I hate to confess that during some financial challenges, I had to sell my juniors. I sold my 63 that looks like an SG, but it still said Les Paul on it. And I had a 59 double cut. This is my neighbor, Kirk Helly, who's a composer here. How's the sound? I did a thing that sounds really good in the headphones for the guitar, but it's making my voice sound a little boomy, maybe. This guitar sounds good. Junior's my home base. That was my first guitar. Next time I come on, I'll show you the picture of me at 12 years old with my first 63 Junior and a custom tuck and roll amp. 1977, I think. I was negative 10 years old. So for me, what's really fun about juniors is they ring, and they ring really well. Because it's such a simple guitar, right? It's just a piece of wood with a bridge on it. Hey, Mike. How are you, man? He says, hell yeah, I love juniors. So let me give you guys I'm broadcasting in 4, soon to be 5 areas right now. 2 channels on Facebook. Hey, Phelps, New York, right on. Salute. I'm broadcasting on 2 Facebook pages and 2 YouTube channels right now. So you guys might not see the comments that other people make. I'm trying to work on that. I got a trouble ticket in with StreamYard. Right now they're telling me maybe they can't do anything. So I might have to find another provider. StreamYard's pretty good otherwise. It works pretty well. So also, for those of you that haven't been here before, I'm trying to play guitar, speak in complete sentences, read the chat room at the same time. And hey, Phil, what's up? So some of the good comments I can show them, like, for example, this one. So that everybody can see them who might not be on the same platform. But anyway, I have this 50's Junior here, and it just rings like a bell. I'm on the cleanest setting of the Soho. It's kind of sort of gained up, not really. I don't know about you, but man, that's about as good. Good luck with those complete sentences. Yeah, it's hard. I had to do, I did this show before. Hear how a Junior turns into an acoustic guitar? This is what a correct P90 does. There's a whole lot of P90s in the world, and there's not a whole lot of correct ones. So I just turned the booster on the clean channel. Yeah, Phil says very keefy. Yeah, that's right. Oh no. So yeah, before we get going, for every person that watches the show, there's literally like 500 that watch the recording, and so all of our friends, Mike Leapshot, let me put that on the screen. So I'll just read it. It's an important one. No power down here in Georgia from the hurricane and tornadoes. Been in hotel. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, Mike. I used to live in Atlanta, and Georgia was my home for a while. My wife's from Georgia. My wife's from Smyrna, Georgia, suburb of Atlanta. And man, my heart goes out to you guys. There's probably no one in Florida watching right now today, but holy cow, we've been sending good energy down to Florida. And I hate to see the chain of events that's going on there. I hope it's not the future. I really do. Florida's a beautiful place and full of a lot of nice people and a lot of history and everything else. And I hate to see it get just destroyed. I know a couple years ago, that one that came through and kind of just eliminated Sanibel Island. I would imagine it's going to be hard recovery. This looks bad. And so my request to you is send every bit of good energy you got towards our brothers and sisters in Florida. That could be prayers. That could be good thoughts. That could be anything you want. It all helps. Money. There's a lot of relief agencies that are trying to help. A lot of private relief agencies that are down there trying to do stuff. So I'm really sorry to see all this stuff. It's very disturbing. We've had some dire predictions about these things going to happen, and I guess it's time we pay attention. It's really bad. Rob Price says, I got one of those early 2000 Les Paul specials, bought it in the 2010s, sold it to a friend, but he was no longer playing it, so I bought it back a few years ago for what I sold it for. Nice. After Rick Beato did a video on them, the price jumped 3 times. It's the only Gibson that I've ever had that stays in tune. Man, I'm a Junior guy. I put groceries on the table with a Junior for a long time before I started making money and bought other guitars. But single pickup Junior, just like this, you can get a lot of sounds, but just the bass. It works on everything, like all those reference songs I've been playing for you. Hey, Ben Silverman in Palm Beach. Hey, man, good to see you here. Yeah, I saw there's like 27 tornadoes last night in South Florida on the south side of the hurricane. I hope you're okay, Ben. I hope your family's all right. Your friends are okay. Your neighborhood's okay. Holy cow, it's disturbing stuff. And we all have our natural disasters, no matter where we live. But holy moly. Hey, Canute, evening. How are things over in Norway? You're in Norway, right? Or are you Sweden? Anyway, glad you're here. Good to see you. I was 1 mile away. All good here. Okay, Ben. Good. Whew. And I grew up in Tornado Alley in Missouri. If you've never experienced a tornado, there's no adjectives to kind of describe it. You moved to Sweden 10 years ago. Okay, all right. Thank you. I love Sweden. I love Scandinavia. All the countries up there. They're great. I know you guys kind of bicker amongst yourselves, but they're all really nice. I'm not kidding. I mean, they're nice. Like, you have a great quality of life in Scandinavia. It's really cool. You have a hell of a winter, which is my only complaint because I'm soft and weak. But anyway, yeah, if you've never been in a tornado, it'll make you rethink your existence. It's bad. I don't know about you. Does Gibson sound get any better than that? Again, this is, for those of you that are tuning in, this is a 50's Junior that I borrowed from a friend down the street. Lives about 4 houses down the street. He's a studio guy, sideman named Kirk Helly. And he's one of those guys that's got like 200 guitars. I don't know. I grew up playing a P90, and it's so home base for me. I love it. Kind of makes me realize why I'm angry at myself for not having one. I had 2 very valuable Juniors that I had to sell. Family needed money. Recession, and then... Recession, really. You can just hear acoustically how well this guitar rings. But this has been refinished, and whoever did it sanded the numbers off the back of the neck. I've tried to do everything I can to try to decipher numbers in there. I'm trying to get a reflection, and I just can't even. There's something that looks like there might be a number in there, maybe, but not enough. If you guys can see what that is, maybe that first number is a 7, so maybe this is a 57. I don't know. James Siebert says, hey, all right. That Junior with the Soho sound, yeah, it's a good combination, isn't it? Oh, good questions here. Ed Godet, how are you, buddy? I picked up a used 2019 Tobacco Sunburst Junior from the original collection. I love it. Yeah, it's not a 50's, but no, they're all good. There's guys making excellent Juniors right now, including Gibson. They're just not, it's a piece of wood, so they're kind of random, right? And the pickups have to be correct. And if you get a good bridge that resonates and a proper nut made out of bone and tuners that are holding, you have a hell of a guitar. Like, really great. Great question here. Mark Saunier says, is there any sonic difference between a blue Soho compared to a red one? Yes. So the red Soho has machine wound transformers in it. And what you get from that is a little earlier breakup and a little more top end. It's good top end. It's a little more of an aggressive sounding amp than this one is. But it's a great amp. And if you really want to get it the same, go get a Mercury Magnetics output transformer and put it in there. It'll be virtually the same amp. I have a red Soho that Mike and I want to sell that we've modded. And it sounds killer. Kind of updated a little bit. So I'll try to bring that on the show, Mark, if you're interested. So that's on the dirt. And if I go to full-on raunch... Let's dial this in a little better. A little more tone, maybe a little less gain. Hey! Christopher Williams, what's up, my nephew? What's happening? The player doesn't suck. You're a nice man. I highly recommend the Music City Bridge for those Juniors. I love mine. Yeah, actually, that's what I think Kirk wants to put on this. This has some 90s sort of Stu-Mac kind of thing. It works really good. This guitar, I worked on it for him. He kind of said, yeah, I can borrow it because I don't play it because it doesn't play in tune up and down the neck. So I got it where it plays in tune up and down the neck. Great. Yeah, Chris, you recognize those chord progressions are great reference progressions because if your amp sucks, you're not going to hear. Yeah. You won't hear all that. It'll just sound like flub. So this amp does that pretty well. And I'm on full gain now. Dig it more down here. You guys get tired of me playing the same shit? They're just references because I don't want you to focus on me unless you want to, and it's very sweet. I think that's really nice. I want you to hear the guitar and the amp. But anyway, so for weeks, you guys are going, hey, play a P90. And I'm like, I'm embarrassed to say I don't have one. I had to sell it. Things got tight. And those are my highest profit margin guitars that I paid nothing for and made thousands on them. So I'd love to get them back. I know the people who have them, especially that 63. That was crazy. But yeah, you can do some serious Keith on this. Let's see. Sure and get this tight here with a tuner. My ears are okay, but they're not perfect. Oh, look at me. Look at me. I'll be damned. Okay. Because what I hear in this guitar is... Doesn't sound right, does it? That kind of sound? Sounds good. And then I can even go cleaner and it still sounds right. I wish I had a capo here. I got another sound in mind. Oh, hey, Chris. No, that was a 63. I had to sell it. Times got tough. Got them kids with those horses and shit. But you know that guitar. You know what it sounds like. Better tug on them. That G wire flatten out when you bash. Yeah, best open G tune. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm beating the shit out of the guitar, so. Yeah, stuff happens, man. You know, my kids always mean more to me, so. Including you, my nephew. I'd do it for you. me get it back into standard tuning. All right, I get a tuner touch up. Anyway, so why don't you guys shoot me some questions? What's on your mind? I still need to sell this Soho. I've had it for 3 weeks. I got to tell you why I didn't make it last week. You're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe why I didn't make it last week. I had eye surgery. I had retina surgery on my eye. My retina was threatening to detach suddenly. And so I started seeing all kinds of crazy stuff, nightmarish things. Went to the doc. Next day, they had me getting laser eye surgery, which you'd walk out from and you're fine. Other than the numbing drops, right? That's kind of it, isn't it? Or is it dirtier? Guitar's slipping out of my lap. Put the strap on, see if I can make it sit in my lap better. Just get a lot of mess with the headphone cables. Look at this rock and roller strap, right? Anyway. So anyway, while the show was supposed to be going on last week, these are 10s, Ed, no 10s. While the show was supposed to be going on last week, I was in a chair getting lasers shot down my pupil, reattaching my retina, which modern medicine and technology is just insane. At that moment, you could have told me, yeah, there's flying cars now, and I would have went, oh, okay, yeah, sure, I believe it. I was incapacitated. Sorry about that. It came up suddenly. On Tuesday, I started seeing little dots flying around and flashes of light out of the side of my eye. And not really flashes, but like a big black dot. Remember when we were young and you went to the movie theater? Chris, you may remember this, but maybe not. You might be too young. But when we actually watched film, there would be this little black dot up in the corner of the movie to let you know to let the camera person know to switch reels, right? I was seeing that out of the side of my eye. I kept going like this, like, whoa, what's that? And there's nothing there. And then the next morning I woke up and there was 1,000 little black dots floating around everywhere. And it was swirling like I was in a dust storm or something. And it turns out those were blood cells. The tear in my retina ripped a little blood vessel. And it was blood. I still have a few of them. If I look right now, it looks like there's little gnats flying around, which is crazy. It freaks you out. Anyway, but it wasn't just a few. Like now, there's 3 or 4. He said it's going to take 2 or 3 weeks before they're all gone. But on Wednesday, there were thousands of them. Like I didn't feel comfortable driving a car, kind of thing. And then so I skipped the optometrist and the ophthalmologist, and I went to the surgeon. I had a cataract surgery in this eye like 3 years ago. And I went to the surgeon that did that. I called them and they went, yeah, that sounds like retina problems. Come on in. We'll get over here as fast as you can. We'll have a look. And I went in and it was like 4 PM and they went, yeah, you got a torn retina. And they couldn't get me in. The retina specialist was closing. So they got me in by 9 o'clock the next morning. I was in the chair. And it was really hours of testing before they did the surgery. The surgery took 10 minutes. So I'm hoping, yeah, I'm glad I can see too, Chris. Thank you. My vision's actually better than it was before I went in. Like they take the laser and kind of tack down all the points where your retina's coming loose, which is normal with age, right? We're all losing some retina connection to the vitreous sac or whatever it's called. And that's why older people, thanks, Dennis. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. That's why as you get older, your vision diminishes because the retina is slowly detaching. And with age, it's normal. So anyway, he kind of de-aged my eye. So like through this eye, even though you guys are a little close, like I probably need reading glasses because I have a distance lens in here. I'm going to do my other eye shortly too. So when you see me doing the show in the future, I might have glasses on. For near vision, I need glasses. I will at least because right now I can see close with this one. Anyway, who cares? Anyway, so when the numbing drops wore off by like 2 in the afternoon, I'm like, man, this is clear. I still have a little bit of haze because there's still blood in there, a little tiny bit of blood. But so again, 2 or 3 weeks recovery, but it's crazy. So anyway, I'm sorry I missed you last week, but I had a good excuse. And now I wish I could see your faces while we're on here, but doesn't want a Junior now? Come on, Jesus Christ. This is the most fun rock and roll guitar ever. Oh, Chris, your mom had her lenses done? Yeah, it's very common. I'll be 60 next year, for those of you that think I'm in my 30s still. Now, if your vision's bad, you might have thought that. No, I'll be 60 next year. And it's very common. Yeah, those things are called floaters, Chris, little floaters. It happens. It happens with age. A lot of people just get floaters as they age. There's nothing you can do about it. You got floaters. But mine are actually blood cells. What I was seeing were blood cells in my eye, which is weird, isn't it? Isn't that kind of strange? Let's see, I got to send this guy a message. Anyway, it's bizarre. Anyway, my vision's going to be good, and I'll be able to track a golf ball really well and drive a car safely for decades to come. Those are two important things for vision, especially, I love playing golf. I don't like golf culture, as we've talked about. I just love the physics of hitting the ball, so... Bright, maybe? Is that right? Go all the way down to no gain. I wonder, there's a button here to present. Let me see what it says. Slides, extra camera, video file. Oh, I see. I just want to get where I can put a picture on here. There's got to be a way. I'll figure it out. Because I could show you the picture of me in the chair, man. So anyway, this Soho is for sale. I would sure like you to buy it. Mike and I are working on prototypes. right now. There's one gentleman who wanted to buy one of these amps recently. Might have been the Whiskey or Empire, I'm not sure. Brent Ciliano, and Mike's been buried. The amp's ready though. Sorry it took too long. But anyway, this guy's good price. Basically brand new amp with warranty on it. So let me know if you're interested. Send me a direct message. Dan, when are you going to tell everyone about the new amp you're working on? The Mayo. That's my brother Brian Mendes right there, one of my dearest friends. Brian and I were in a band called the Clarences. Do you guys remember Clarence, who was the fifth Beatle on Saturday Night Live? It was Eddie Murphy. He was the sax player in the Beatles, and he got kicked out of the Beatles because they were jealous of him, apparently. And he wrote all the songs, but they changed the names. Like it used to be, I Want to Hold Your Hand, Man. The other one was She's Got a Ticket to Ride and a Bitch Don't Care. You know, stuff like that. She Loves You, Man. And there was sax in there, and Clarence would sing along with John. It was really good. Anyway, so Clarence got kicked out of the Beatles and scrubbed from history. But he had some recordings of them playing together that were really amazing. So Brian and I played in the Clarences, and I was the only gringo in the band. And my nickname was Mayo. Mayonnaise, right? Hey, Randy Krath, how are you, brother? Good to see you. I got a really high-functioning 50's Junior today. A real 50's Junior, not a reissue. It looks like that Billy Joe Armstrong reissue, but this is an actual 50's Junior. It's crazy good. Anyway, so Brian and I were in the Clarences, and we used to play... Sounds good, doesn't it? Shake it up, baby, man. You should hear Clarence play sax on that song. Oh, thanks for dropping by, Phil. Yeah, it does sound good, doesn't it? A proper P90 is always nothing but love. Yeah, man, you should have heard us killing Twist and Shout. It was good. Hey, Kjell Arne Clausen, how are you? Cheers. Top of the morning to you. All the best from Sweden. Oh, man, thank you, brother. Good to see you, man. Yeah, you should have heard Clarence play sax on It's Been a Hard Day's Night, Man. That was the original version of the song. Shit I'm on, man. Man. When I'm home, man. Why do Beatles progressions never get old? You play them on a good guitar and a properly functioning amp. It works, right? Who's got juniors out there who could use this amp? Come on, man. Whoops. That wasn't right, was it? If it were double tracked, it would sound just right. Well, I can't get that extra note. That's not it. Trust in my way. This guitar is staying in tune pretty good considering I am beating the tar out of it. Most juniors would not stand up this well at all. Recognize that progression? I think we've talked about this on the show before. I saw an interview with John Phillips, you know, from the Mamas and the Papas. Let's double check this while I'm talking. The Mamas and the G went just a hair flat. Pretty good for a junior. I mean, I am pounding on this guitar because I'm a orangutan. Anyway, you know the song California Dreamin', right? It all comes from the B section of We Can Work It Out, right? Which is, life is very short. You get that right. Life is very short and there's no time. Fussing and fighting. Surely you recognize that, right? As all the leaves are brown and the sky is gray. Right? So John Phillips said they wrote that entire song based off just the B section of We Can, and then he does the relative major, right? So it's B minor. You just drop your finger here, I'll show you. You're not really moving. You play B minor. Then just let go of this down to A. Then you go to G, and then an F suspended. Right? You're not really doing much other than going. And then you take the relative minor, which is. Anyway, how influential is that? That one B section of a pop song. Wow, something went wrong there. I beat guitars to death. Oh yeah, the G string's getting unhappy with me. G is for Gibson. Every Gibson I've ever owned had a problem with the G string. I even bought one of those Buzzy Fighting bridges to kind of compensate, but it didn't sound right. You know, it sounded too perfect. Anyway, the P90 is such a great sound. Thank you, Charlie. Said that amp really nails the British sound. It's awesome. Thank you so much. Love the harmonic. Oh yeah, it is a fun song to play for sure. Those Beatles songs were amazingly complex. Yeah, I wonder what they would sound like if they had modern studios and they were recording it right now. It's an. Hey, Scotty Bratcher's here. How are you, Scotty? I was trying to get the producer 84 here for you this week, but Mike is buried. He apologizes. It should be G sharps and that's funny. It's not Christian to play Stones in tune. Yeah, it doesn't sound good, does it? It's too polished. Bob Barris, that's funny, man. That's really funny. But you know, you got all kinds of great Mike Campbell tones in here as well. Let me get a little. Let's go back down to no gain. Break down, go ahead and give it to me. Baby, baby, break down. Come on, you can do it. Ooh. What does Scotty say here? Well, I just officially discovered KT66s. Oh yeah, great tube. The vintage ones are amazing. Those will work in Mr. Ridiculous, which is running on EL34s, right? And that Shanks prototype that you have. Listening to Tom Petty the other day, and there was some song I thought, oh man, I haven't heard that song in so long. What was it? I'm one of those guys, I have this guitar memory. If I hear the song, I go, oh right, I used to play that song, and it comes right back into my memory. Just picked up the Charlie Staller Jr., loving the overwound P90. Excellent. Hoss Thompson, hey, what's up, buddy? You're not too late. I'm going to be quitting here in about 15 minutes, but she grew up in Indiana town. I can't sing quietly, seriously. Full voice through a microphone, I can almost yell in key. Hey, Trebek, can you explain a bit the differential between the passive effects loop of the Soho and the active one on the whiskey? Sure. That's a great question. Let me explain it to you, and let me explain to you why they are different. So the main reason that some of our amps have an active loop and some have a passive loop is the gain structure in the preamp. So an effects loop goes either pre and post phase inverter, right? I'm sorry, the master volume goes pre and post phase inverter. The effects loop goes right before the phase inverter. On most of my amps, the distortion is created mostly in the phase inverter and the power section. So having a passive loop gives you more fidelity. Your signal's not getting processed. But if you have a lot of gain in your preamp, that's right, Hoss, it is Danny, California, that's right. If you have a lot of gain in your preamp, you need the active loop so that you can control the levels. Because if you're using distortion and time-based effects, it can get mangled through all those distortion level gain stages. So if you can go with a passive loop, it sounds better because it's cleaner. There's less circuitry. You know, simplicity is the efficiency, is the elegance, right? But if you have a lot of gain in your preamp, you need to use an active loop. That way you can adjust the level so that you're not, as you're processing other things, you're not adding distortion to them. But in our Soho and London and Elvis and things like that, you're not adding any distortion in the preamp, really, nominal. And the benefit of having a clean loop, to me, in my opinion, is more valuable. Does that make sense? Yeah, Doug Campbell, live at Leeds, that's right. Very much that sound, isn't it? What's the best tracks off that record besides? People trying to put us down. Learned to play guitar with the Beatles and album songbook. Yeah, I learned to play guitar with my Beatles records that I inherited from my parents. Rob Price says, I should try using the loop in my Elvis sometime soon. Yeah, it's a good loop. If you're going to put a lot of really hot, jacked up effects in there, I don't know why you do that on that amp anyway, but so what you earlier says, my wife got very excited when she found an old Beatles songbook that I got from an old neighbor many, many years ago. Besides being a very good singer, she was a decent nice instrumentalist and can be one again. Man, that would be great. Sit around and play music with your wife, have a bottle of wine, make dinner, other things. What other songs are on Live at Leeds that I'm blanking on? There's, they do the old songs on Live at Leeds, right? Yeah. Is that what you're thinking of, Hoss? That? I love that riff, though. The rest of the song I need to get brushed up on. I'm free. Young Man Blues, Heaven and Hell. Yeah, that's right. I need to listen. I haven't listened to Live at Leeds since high school. One I loved was they had the... I forget their rhythm, though. They played it different. The Eddie Cochran song, Summertime Blues. Yeah, Lars Steinstein, rock and roll. Yeah, that's it, man. It's a good... Oasis-y sounds there, huh? A quick one. Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't know if that's on Leeds or not. Honestly, I need to go revisit it. I haven't listened to that record. I think since I listened to it on an album on vinyl, which would be the 80s. I kind of quit listening to vinyl in the 80s. But anyway... yeah, I hope that effects loop thing. People have a lot of really unnecessarily harsh opinions about effects loops and true bypass and all that kind of shit. And of course, if we're doing Who songs, there's the best reference song there is for guitars and amps. Too many cables is right, Bob Barris. I like the loopers, which is Daniel, what's his name? Steinset, whatever his name is, Daniel. The Gig Rig. Great stuff. Bart Chapman says, I have a 37th Les Paul Jr., a 37th anniversary, made in 1993 by the newly formed Gibson Custom Shop. P90s roar. Yeah, they're great. They do hum, which for some reason is outlawed now. so articulate. Like if I back off with my right hand, I play with my fingers. Oh, Substitute. Right. How does Substitute go? Shit. I used to play that song. I'm getting the riff wrong, aren't I? That's it. Is that right, Hoss? Nope. Ha. Muscle memory from childhood lasts forever, doesn't it? Because I'm a substitute. But yeah, oops. I got to practice that. It's been a long time. It's got the tone at least, right? Little G flat there. Yeah, great call, Hoss. Thank you. Scraping out the memory banks. Dude, I'm old. I've been playing shit for a long time. That's a good call, though. Thank you. Let me tune this up really. Just polish it. I hate even a marginally out of tune guitar. It drives me crazy. It's just that G string again. That's it. Pete Townsend, the Ernest Hemingway of guitar playing. Pete and Keith are like my favorite rhythm players. They play lead guitar playing rhythm, which honestly, I hate to confess it, like I've always been more interested in that than shredding. I mean, I can sit around and play solos, you know, but it's just kind of like, whatever, you know. It's I don't like watching other people play solos unless it's really musical and interesting in the song, but just watching somebody rip doesn't interest me, so therefore I never sit around and do it. I mean, I can, you know, go into Dirtland and do the... But that's really wanky without a band. If I'm not playing over something, it sounds kind of weird, doesn't it? Oh, look what I did. Amazing. There, it's acting like a real junior. Ooh, I went really flat. just a G string. That's it. There's just no fat in Hemingway's prose and none in Townsend's playing. Yeah, he kind of highlights the guitar, I think. Like a lot of those songs are interesting because the guitar sounds so good. But you get the idea. Well, man, I have to pack it up here in a couple minutes. Let me turn this off so you guys can ask me questions. Anyway, this Soho is for sale. danbull@me.com will get you in touch with me. And let me set this in the rack. And we can work something out. We can work it out. Wait a minute. That could be a song. Oh, there's my capo. Shit. Put that on my desk so I'll remember that for next week. I was looking for a capo earlier to play Street, what's it called? The Stone song. I was playing in B. I just discovered Doug Pettibone, Michael Margot says. Yeah, he's amazing. I went to see Mike Campbell and Lucinda Williams. Now I'm at the Lucinda Williams rabbit hole. I think Lucinda Williams is the female Keith Richards. She's really cool. I sold some amps to her band years ago. Greg Leese, who plays lap steel with her. I don't know if he was on that gig or not because he goes out with Jackson Brown quite a bit. Sold him an amp and a couple other people. And then my little band, the Valley Village Idiots, we used to play a Lucinda song. Dina Carter would sing it, and it was good. Fun stuff. Yeah. But yeah, Doug Pettibone's a great player. Super nice guy, too. I've met him a few times. For rhythm lead, Dr. Feelgood's Wilco Johnson comes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a good call there, Trevi. Wilco's fun. Wilco's really fun. But anyway, so Doug Pettibone's amazing. He was gonna buy an amp for me years ago. It's like 15, 18 years ago or something. And it just didn't need what we offered, but he was such a nice guy. We kind of became friendly, you know. Word on the street is you're the new man from Del Monte. Can you confirm or deny? I don't know what that means. I'm the new man from Del Monte. I'm the new orange. I'm the new squeeze. Del Monte is a fruit company here in the U.S. Am I the new man from Del Monte? I don't know. Am I Haas? You tell me, buddy. That's funny. I know funny. That's funny. The man from... So anyway, we do have new amps in the works, and trying to just raise money right now to continue. So that would help me if you bought this amp.
Okay, I added raise money right now to the list.
What the hell? Siri picked that up for some reason. So let me be shameless about it. Help me build new amps. I'm doing things to raise money, ultimately, like real money, real stuff. But right now, what I need to do is produce this proof of concept amp that I think you guys would all be interested in. And I can't tell you too much about it. I'm trying to apply for intellectual property on some stuff. So it'd be useful and safe and high functioning and kind of bridging the 20th and 21st centuries in guitar amps. So I'll leave it at that. It's very fun. Anyway, I do need to run. What do you guys think? Do you have any questions or thoughts or anything? We just have fun hang today. It was kind of a fun hang. That Junior, I'm going to be sad giving it back. He's got a session. What's today is the 10th. He said he's got a session. He needs it for the 12th. So I got to take it back. Oh. Maybe I can get it back again for the show. It's a really good one. He said he was going to get that bridge you were talking about earlier. Music City, I think. And I'll put it on I know how to work on guitars. Don't tell anyone because then they ask you to do it. But I can set up guitars and do fretwork and make anything work because I was out on the road for a long time. I had to learn how to do it so my guitars would function, you know. But anyway, what do you guys think? Is it a good time to stop? We still got a lot of people hanging on here. Hopefully I'm not missing the comments again. Oh, Randy Krath, thank you, man. Says the Ventura I got from you is a screamer. Well, good, man. Well, it only does what you tell it. And I know how you play, and you play great, and you sing great. So I'm sure it's cooperating with you, right? Very nice. Thank you, Randy. Good to see you, man. Good to hear from you, at least. I like seeing your avatar picture, at least. I wish there was a way I could bring people in quickly and easily. Maybe we'll get that going where you guys can queue up and I can split screen with you. Yes, Haas. Necessity is the mother of invention, dear boy. Well, I have a lot of things going on that I can't talk about in public. Don't tell anybody. You're welcome, Randy. Love you, buddy. Yeah, I gotta play close to the vest right now. Ours is an industry where people like to listen to other people's ideas and take them. Happened to me many times. With amps and software and everything else. I got stories and some scar tissue from it. Project Manhattan. Yeah, that's right. No, it's really, when I reveal it to you, you'll go, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's nothing crazy. It's just that I want to get some intellectual property on it so people don't go, hey, that's a good idea. I want to do that too. We at least get a head start. Because there are big predatory people who I know personally. I know them. I'm not making this up. I know them very well. And if I reveal what I want to do, they're going to just pour crap loads of money into it and try to squash me. So no big deal. I can handle it. That's life in the big city, man. It's a tough game out here. I've learned the hard way several times. But anyway, I do need to run. Any last questions before we take off? It's been an hour and 4 minutes. Sounds very shrewd. Yeah, thanks. Never do anything well for free. Yeah, you know, I'm kind of a trusting guy from the middle of the country, and I many times, hey, Axel, hey, what's up, buddy? You just missed it. You know, Axel Inman, I forgot to tell you that the show today has been brought to you by Titleist GT Driver, the new GT. The GT2, it works for me and you. The GT3, where if you mishit the ball, you get a few extra yards for free. And the GT4, if you hit the ball pretty well, but you just want a little more. They're the new Titleist GT drivers. Thanks, guys. I'll give you my address. Anyway, I got to sign off, Axel. But we should talk on the phone anyway. I know you had some questions, and then you picked up another 65, right? You just bought a stone pony from Massachusetts. So a Yankee stone pony. Like, what? What's his name? Your stone pony arrived today. Awesome. Fantastic. I wish they'd let you put pictures up here. Yeah. What do you call it? Paul Revere, stone pony. Paul Revere riding a stone pony. The British are coming. Anyway, Scotty Bratcher, it's not number 7, is it? He's asking, Axel. Yeah, you guys should know each other. Scotty Bratcher, Axel Inman. Axel, it's not really his first name, but he's a peer of mine from the gigging days in the South in the 80s and 90s. We were parallel circuits, probably ran into each other a bunch and didn't realize it. I probably saw your band play and you probably saw my band play. We were probably hanging out in the same bars watching Audley Freed play, right? As we all did back then. Cry of Love, baby. Crazy good band. If we weren't gigging, we'd drive a few hours to go see Cry of Love. That was good. Got to inbox it. Yeah, do that. Send me things. Scotty, Axel, Scotty. You guys are both friends of mine on Facebook. You can direct message each other. Scotty Bratcher has a stone pony and has had some. So Uh, and Mike Leaptrot says, I'm sure I was in some of the Cry I Love shows too. Yeah, we probably raised a glass at a bar somewhere. Yeah, I know what you meant, Mike. It's cool. You were at them. Yeah, Audley was so good. And that band was just, my God, so much fun. And Audley's hands were so, I mean, he's still a great player. Um, but, oh my God, he sounded so good. Unbox. I got you. Unbox it. Yeah, that's right. Well, let me know how it goes. Let me know if you need any help. And you got a bunch of, you said you have some vintage 7591s, which will sound great in that amp. You'll be very happy. Preamp tubes are very important also if you have some good vintage preamp tubes. I have some EF86s that are killer if you need one. I keep this one on my desk for some reason. I don't know. It's an Amprex. An Amprex I'm not using in anything right now. So anyway, I do got to go, guys. I got to return some calls. My phone's ringing. I got some car work to do, the whole thing. I kind of manage a car collection on the side for a little for fun. I love old cars. I got a problem. Like 12 step. Hi, my name's Dan. I'm addicted to old cars. Anyway, great to see you guys. We'll just put it on pause and we'll keep talking next week. I'm going to find out a way that maybe we can interact a little better than the chat room on here because it's kind of slow. And it looks like today I only got a couple of comments from YouTube. So I eventually want to migrate over to YouTube. So what you might see is me starting to put up YouTube links on Facebook to make it a little easier. YouTube is a better platform. The picture's better. The sound's better. It's free. You don't have to be a member. All that stuff. It's more, it's less exclusionary. That's what I'm trying to say. It's less exclusionary. Whereas Facebook, you got to be a member. If you're blocked or you can't do stuff. If you guys are in Facebook jail for saying dirty words on another page, God forbid, you can't make comments here. It's just stupid. I'm all for freedom of speech, and I completely understand why they censor vulgar, abusive speech, even though that is protected speech, but the government protects your speech. Facebook doesn't. The government guarantees free speech. It doesn't guarantee that you're able to say whatever you want in public on other people's platforms. That's the deal. Take it or leave it. That's the way it works. So on YouTube, they're a little less, I don't care if you cuss on here. It's fine. If you're cussing at other people, I'm going to smoke you like right away. If you like slam your hand in the car door and say the word shit, fine. But if you're cussing at another person, I'll take issue with it. Otherwise, feel free. I don't like racist, bigoted stuff. I won't tolerate that, but, or misogynistic nonsense. But as far as saying cuss words, I don't care. I say cuss words. All the time. I try to edit myself here because I know some people are offended by it, which I'm not, but I respect the fact that other people are. But anyway, my whole point being Facebook is really kind of restrictive. YouTube is not. And I can edit the chat room myself. I can manage it myself. I don't need an algorithm to tell me what people can or cannot say in my area. Does that make sense? So I'd like us all to be free and be adults. We're all guys here for the most part. You hardly ever see a woman on here. And I know we're all gentlemen, right? Everybody here is a gentleman. And so we try not to cuss around women, but my wife will watch this. My daughters will watch this. My aunts who are in their 80s and 90s will watch this. If you're watching, Barbara, Catherine, Mary, I love you. I have female cousins who will watch this. So I try not to be a guy, I try not to make it too testosterone-y. But you guys can type what you want in the chat room. Will I repeat it on the program? I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah, my wife can handle herself too, Mike. And Mike says, my wife can outcuss me. Yeah. And again, like, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But what I don't like is Facebook telling me, hey, there's my cousin Joan. See, that's one reason I try to be a Joan. I love you. That's one of the reasons I try to be a gentleman here. And Joan, you know me well enough to know how well I can cuss, but I try to be a gentleman around the ladies, especially the ladies in my family, and Joan is one of them. I wish I could see your face, Joan. My goodness, that'd be so nice. Anyway, so that's the reason, long-winded reason, sorry, that I'm going to kind of start migrating over to YouTube. And but it'll still be like you can link to it from Facebook and Instagram, but it'll be based out of YouTube. So anyway, Randy says, gotta go. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming. I sent you a message. Excellent. I look forward to it. Anyway, I do gotta go myself. I got some very important calls to return. I love you guys. I mean it. And I'll see you next week. Scotty, I'm going to try to have the producer 84 here next week. Mike's still working on it. He had some really crazy stuff come up at work, and he's been behind. But we haven't forgotten about you. The amp's there. We just got to put the power transformer back in it. Anyway, got to run. Love you guys. Mean it. Take care, and I will